Hello everyone. In today's video we are going to cover free e-file. I'm going to prepare a scenario tax return for you. Um, Hopefully this will give you the confidence so that you can file your own return or help someone else file their taxes using free e-file. This is Audrey with Free Tax Prep LA. Just want to remind everyone that you can get updates and more information about the tax season and especially the COVID-19 pandemic and how this affects your finances um, at our website at freetaxprepla.com. We're doing these videos so that we can find people like you to reach out and help other people file their own tax return using free e-file. It's a very simple process and there's a lot of money at stake. As you know, the tax filing deadline has moved to July 15th. However, individuals that should be receiving a refund really can't wait till that far out. That's 60 days from now. And we also want families to be claiming their economic impact payment, right? If they're owed this money, they can file their return and claim the $1,200 per taxpayer and the $500 per child dependent. Individuals who already filed their 18 or 2019 don't need to worry about the economic impact payment. It's going to come to them. But as you'll see in this example, some of these refunds for low-income taxpayers is tremendous. It can be thousands of dollars back in their pocket so that they can make ends meet in these very troubling times. Also, before I start with all the tax stuff, you know our website, we're at Free Tax Prep LA, but we're also on social media at Free Tax Prep LA. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So please give us a follow so you can get all the updates as they become available. All right, so let's talk about free e-file. You are going to need to first gather all your documents. There are a lot of forms. Now, not all of these pertain to everyone. Now, this is just the complete list. Most important is having the accurate name and number that is on the Social Security card. You don't actually need the card, but it is so helpful to have it. You don't want errors about errors. This is the number one error, is the name and number mismatch. Use the name exactly as it is on the card. If you've changed your last name with DMV, that is not the right name to use. You want to use the one on the card. Number one source of error, and it is so simple to just do that double check with the actual card. You want exact birth dates. You want to have all your W-2s, all of your 1099 forms, and there's a lot of them that you could possibly have. So read this list slowly. You can also visit our website, Free Tax Prep LA, and there's this type of list there as well. You can print it or have available on your computer screen. Total cash income. You're not going to get a form that tells you how much you earn in cash. You will have to, use your best, estimates and maybe you got paid per month or per 2 weeks or per job. This is up to you to create that list. There's no form. Gather all your proof for credits and deductions. This could be on a form 1098 for college tuition, student loan interest, home mortgage, or any other type of receipt that you believe is related to a credit or deduction. Your 1095A, if you're paying for health insurance through Covered California or Obamacare, you're going to want to have that. If the IRS issued you an IP PIN, this is for victims of identity theft. The IRS sends you a letter each year and gives you a new ID number. So look for that. If this kind of rings a bell, you're going to need that because your e-file will not be accepted without this PIN number. This is only for people who have been issued this number by the IRS, and it is related only to taxes. Your bank account number. Remember, you can get your tax refund in about 10 to 14 days with your bank account and routing number. And then the last thing, to sign the tax return electronically, which we want everyone to do because the IRS is shutting down. They're not processing paper returns. So when you file electronically, you're going to get your refund really fast. So very important, in order to sign and make this official, you need your 2018, the last year's AGI, adjusted gross income. If you didn't file in 2018, you can use zero, but it will be on your old tax return. It's on 1040, page 1040, line 8B. If you don't have last year's tax return, you're going to pull this up using the IRS Transcript tool. The Transcript tool is pretty, easy. You're going to create your account, you log in, and you're going to see all your tax records from previous years. You can see old W-2s, and then pull your transcript. You're going to be able to find your AGI, adjusted gross income. through your transcript. I actually recommend everyone open an account with the IRS. It's a really interesting tool to go in there and see all your history. If you're looking for missed documents, things like that, you can find everything within your own account, and it's through the transcript portal. All right, so we went through that pretty quickly. I just want to show you what the steps are for any tax software. When you use free eFile, you're going to look at 5 different subject areas. Household information is for you and all your dependents. Income, again, this is where you're going to enter in all your W-2s, your 1099s. Deductions, this is where you're going to want to pull out your receipts, your Form 1098s. Credits, for the most part, the software will calculate all the credits for you. It has all the answers as far as like how many months your child lived with you, what is their age, and then the software will generate the credits. So it makes it really easy. There's only about 2 or 3 credits that you'll need to provide extra information for. But as I mentioned, if you're bringing in your student loan interest and your tuition payments, bring in those 1098 E's and T's. Then follow the questions so you get those credits. And then the last thing is the state. The state is great. It pulls everything from federal for you, so not a lot of extra work. There may be an extra questionnaire if you're a single parent, and then there is a very small renter's credit if you qualify. That has a few extra questions about that. I will point out, I'm going to drag my mouse over to point out that there are a lot of help buttons and decision trees, and I'll point those out when I'm preparing this return. The software is very user-friendly. It's going to lead you through the whole tax return, and it takes about 1 to 2 hours to complete for a fresh set of eyes. And believe it or not, I'm probably just going to do this return within 5 minutes, and that's because I'm trying to work fast. I know you guys can press pause and rewind and all that. So let's get started. All right, to start, we have a sample case, and this is actually very typical for free eFile. We're looking at a single parent, simple type of tax return. They have a W-2 from a job, and then a student loan interest payment. Now let's log into the software. For purposes of this training, I created an account with Credit Karma Tax. I found that this software was great, that it's free for federal and state. There is no income limit, and it's very easy to use. And this looks a lot like other software. So don't get me wrong, you can pick any one that you want. But I just picked this one out of ease of use. Once I logged in, I immediately have to verify my identity. So it does ask for social, and I skipped that part in the video because y'all are going to see my personal information. But you'll have to create your account, which is very secure. It's going to ask questions about your financial history, maybe your credit history. And you'll need an email and a phone number because it does the text verification and email verification. But now that we're on the home screen, you'll see how it's so easy. You're never using a tax document. You're not using an IRS form, 1040 or worksheet 2, anything like that. You're working on this type of platform. And immediately, there's help buttons here, like where do y'all get my information, or if you need help. There's also this really cool tool on the left, so you can skip around and see the PDF forms as you're working. Help. You can ask questions, frequently asked, and then this actually changes depending on what page you're on, which is a really great feature. All right, so now we're starting to ask questions, answer questions for the taxpayer. Some of these, you want to go slow because it could provide an extra benefit. So you'll see on the screen, these are questions for Lorraine, the taxpayer, and we're going to now enter her dependent's information. I'm just going to put in some fake numbers. This is not a real person, so that's why I'm able to go really fast. He looked like a young little chap, so we'll put 2011. The 2 of them lived together all year long, and there's the option to choose a couple months here. Very, very easy to use. And very important, I provided at least half of their support in 2019. You want to answer this honestly. If you've received public benefits and you're supporting your child that way, that counts as you supporting more than half. So let's keep going. Now, these are questions for Marty. So, you know, do they live in a different country? Let's see, do they live in Canada or Mexico? Because you can claim these dependents, right, from Canada or Mexico. There really isn't much benefit, but it's you know, when you put in a social and that they live here, um, you'll get all the credits and all that. Is the dependent married? Are they disabled? Were they a full-time student? The last two are really important because if they're between the ages of 19 and 23, you can still claim them and receive credits like the earned tax credit. You know, they're kind of they're still treated like a minor, so it's great if you have any dependents in that category. And you'll see these like type of help buttons that can provide you more information. So this is for the dependent, and this is the only dependent, so we're gonna go on through. We have household information with the dependent, and let's get into, and it's really great how it's like leading us into the right form. I've already entered the W-2. I just want to show you what it looks like. I have to put the ID number for the employer. You'll see this software is so user-friendly. You're getting these screenshots and it points out where you're going to find this. The employer's name, the employer's address. Let's keep going down. Box per box, you're going to transpose the numbers exactly as it is on the form. Very important. If you add a 0, you're going to make things go out of whack, so go really slow. Box 1, 2, 3, 4 should match the same on your W-2. In your own W-2, you want to go slow. You may have something in these other boxes. For Lorraine's case, in most cases, it's blank. Now the bottom here is California, and as long as we enter the information here, it's going to get transferred to the California state return. And that's the only W-2 for this tax client. You'll see that at the very top, the refund calculator has already generated what the refund is. And you see this is a tremendous amount of money. She made $24,000 last year, and she's going to get close to we're looking at close to $7,000 here. Federal refund. Let's see what this federal refund is all about. Wow. She has her total income. There was that credit for the student loan interest, the $2,500 that we entered. She does owe a little bit of tax, but because she's getting credits, it looks like for child tax credit, and I'll show you what, where these are on the tax return. Child tax credit and EITC, that's generating majority of the refund. So, look good to you guys? It looks good to me. And let's get out of here. And my main recommendation is go slow, go through everything. I mentioned earlier that there are quite a bit of credits that she's receiving. We didn't do anything for this. Luckily, the software saw the birth dates for the children, the income amounts, and did all the math. I mean, this is so easy. And I do tax prep for work, and this is what we're doing. It's not it's not really like tough math and crunching numbers. It's really just working slow and being accurate. And what's wonderful is here at the bottom are the California forms, and I'm just going to go ahead and review and file. It is recommending, hey, I have a child under 12. Did I pay for child care, dependent care? No, we did not, so we're just going to keep going. Let's go to Efile. And what I usually do at this point is I log out, and I take about an hour. I go drink a coffee, and then I come back and check on my work. And this is where you're verifying your identity again. You're going to need to enter your ID number that's on your photo ID. And to sign, this is where last year's AGI is coming up. I kind of put a fake number in. Again, this is a fake case. Last year, Lorraine's AGI, adjusted gross income, was $22,000. You can look this up on your IRS transcript. But I love how they point out that, hey, if you didn't file last year, your last year's AGI is 0. I love that. And we're at the final steps for direct deposit, which is really important. I wanted to show you this screenshot because I got a little confused using this software. The very top, they wanted me to kind of open up this savings account, but you can skip it by just, going down here to not interested and move along. Here you go with the bank account information. You will need the account number, then routing number. What I liked about this feature is that it corrected my work. I entered the wrong routing number and it knew immediately, the routing number is essentially a code for every bank. It knew immediately that I entered that wrong. It did not exist and helped me make that correction. And same thing with the state, I also want it to go to that same account. And then here we are at the end. We are going to submit. I couldn't be more happy with the software. Within 15 minutes, I was able to show you how to prepare for free tax prep, and then we filed the return. This is the last, very, very last step. You're going to create your PIN number. The PIN number is great because you could use this year to year to sign. And I always recommend, use your zip code or use an easy 5, maybe it's your birthday, something you're not going to forget. It could be something like the same as your ATM PIN number, because if you're going to use this once a year, it's so easy to forget. So, I'm at work, this is my zip code and today's date. And, should I click this, what I can expect is an email confirmation that it was either accepted by the IRS or rejected. Keep in mind that a rejection, you're going to need to go in there and fix it, because that means the IRS did not receive your return and nothing is being processed. Again, I mentioned number one error of rejection could be the spelling or the number for socials. Another one is claiming a dependent that already filed their own taxes or somebody else claimed them. So be really clear on that household information. I promise you this is a simple process. You guys can do it and you can help other people that have that need. All right, everyone, check out our other videos. We have one for the non-filers and how they can claim their economic impact payment, the stimulus check. And we have another one to help people get ready for this type of free e-file. Thanks again.